Hi friends and subscribers, this is Mahmoud Sheikh, and from past few videos I am working on discussing some of the basic and important most frequently asked interview questions on PHP. And in today's video we will be discussing different file operations. Okay, so we use files or we create files to store the data, to store the information. We create the files to create or add information into it and read information from those files, update the information, already existing information, and delete the information, whichever information we don't want. Okay, so we create the files to maintain our data. Okay, but in normal cases or in most of the cases, what will happen whenever we develop the web applications, we maintain a database, and the database might be MySQL server, SQL server, or any popular database. We use databases to store the information. Okay, but right now in this tutorial what I am saying is I am not telling you to store the information into some database like MySQL or SQL. Instead of that, I will be discussing that I will create the files into the computer, inside the computer, and I will store some information into those files. I will feed or I will store some information into those files. I will read information from those files. Okay, so there are two ways by which you can store your information. One method is to have a database and store your information into that database in the form of tables, and the second method is to create the files and store the information into those files and access those information from those files whenever it is required. Okay, so here in this video I'll be discussing the second method, which is storing or maintaining the information in the form of files. Okay, so here what I will be telling you is I will show you how to create the files first and store the information into those files, and then we will learn how to append some additional information into some existing information, and then next we will see how we can read the information which we have stored inside our files. Okay, so here let us discuss how to create a file. Okay, so for creating the file, here you can see you need to use fopen method or function. Okay, it takes two parameters. One is the location in which you want to create the file in your computer, and the name. You need to mention the name of your file. What will be the name of your file which you want to create inside this D folder. Okay, and then the second parameter is what type of mode. Okay, here you can see W means write. I want to create a file and I want to write this information into that file. Okay, into this data file. Okay, so that's why the first parameter is the location and the name of the file, and the second parameter is the mode. Either it is read mode, either I want to access the file or to access the file by read mode, in read mode, or in write mode, or in update mode, or in append mode. Okay, so right now I'm trying to create a file inside my D directory, and the name of that file will be data.txt. Okay, and if I fail to create a file, then I will be getting a message unable to open file. Okay, and then I have created a variable and I have make a reference for this file. Okay, and I have stored the reference into this file variable. Okay, and then I have created a variable called text, and in that text I have enter some information like PHP interview questions and answers, and this is the information which is I'm trying to store inside this data.txt file. Okay, and then I'll use fwrite method. Okay, fwrite will have two parameters. One is the pointer or the file pointer to which I'm pointing. Okay, so first parameter is the file, and the second parameter is the information that I want to store inside that file. Okay, and then at the end I will use fclose method. Okay, so all these are file related functions. Okay, so fclose, I will use fclose to close the file reference or file pointer. Okay, so this is how we can create the file. Okay, so now let us run this piece or this 4 lines of code in our editor. So let's go to our editor. Okay, so now you can see I have written it down on my editor, and now let's run it. So let's go to browser 127.0.0.1 slash text file.php. okay, so now before executing that code, now let us first go to our D drive. Okay, let us go inside our D drive. Here you can see inside my D drive I don't have any file. Okay, right now I don't have any file because I have not executed that piece of code. Okay, so now I'll just execute it. Okay, I just forgot the project name, PHP FAQ. Okay, now you can see I'm not getting any error. That means I have successfully created a file. Okay, now let's go to inside our D drive. Now you can see previously there was 3 folders, and now since I executed my project, that's why you can see another folder, sorry, another file gets created with a name called data, and that is the name what I had given here inside my code. Okay, so now let's open that file. Okay, if I open that file, then I should get this information, PHP interview questions and answers. Okay, now let's open it. Now you can see it's displaying me PHP interview questions and answers. Okay, that means we have successfully created a file inside our desired directory, which is in this case D drive, and we have created a file with a name called data.txt. okay, so this is how we can create a file. Okay, now let's go to second is now I want to tell you how to append some additional information into the existing information. Okay, now I'm having PHP interview questions and answers information stored inside this data.txt. okay, apart from this information, if I want to add some more information to this file, I can do that. Okay, see here exactly the same piece of code. Here I have created a file and I have set a text or information, and then I'm writing that information. Okay, and now here I'm updating, I'm making changes into the information, or I'm appending the information to the into the existing information. Okay, so I'm writing the information, new information, and then I'm closing it. So now let's test it out. So let's comment it. Okay, let's save it. Okay, before executing this code, let us first check our file. So let's come here and let's open this file. Now you can see right now I'm having PHP interview questions and answers. Okay, now let us execute it. Okay, now I haven't get any error. That means I have successfully created a file and inserted additional information. You can see tutorial series, and that is what I was trying to add along with this information. Okay, so now that means we have successfully added or appended the information into the existing information. Okay, so now this is about appending the information to the existing file. Okay, now the third section is reading the information. Okay, in many cases we store the information and we have to read the information from the files as and when it is required. Okay, so now let us read it. Let's save it. Okay, now let's come here to our PowerPoint presentation. Here the third section is to reading a file. Okay, so here we will learn how we can read the information from the text file. Okay, so first here I'm creating the file inside the D directory, and the name of the file will be data.txt, and here I'm using fread function, and it's taking the file. Okay, it's taking the file pointer and it's taking the file size as well, and into that it's taking, or I'm passing the location of the file to which I want to read, which is the D drive, and then the name of the file. Okay, and then I'm closing the file pointer. Okay, so now let's run this. Okay, save it, and now let's refresh. Okay, so now you can see here I'm having PHP information, PHP interview questions and answers tutorial series. Now this much of information the code should return. Okay, so here you can see I'm echoing out the information whatever I'm returning from that data.txt file. Okay, so now let's run it. Now you can see it's displaying me, it's returning the information PHP interview questions and answers tutorial series. Okay, so we have successfully manages to fetch the information which is present inside our text file. Okay, so here we are discussing in terms of text file. Here we are learning how to store the information into the text file, how to update the information, and how to read that information from the text file. Okay, so I hope you understood how to perform file operations using PHP. Okay, so how to create a new file, how to add some additional information to the file, and how to read the information from the file. Okay, so I hope you get some useful information. I hope you get an idea how to interact with the text files. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you get some useful and valuable information out of this video. If you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And I will see you guys in my next video, where I'll be discussing on some other topic or some other interview questions on PHP. And till then, goodbye and thanks for watching again.